Hello there, very good evening and a warm welcome to the news live on Rupavahini. I'm Sharon Haskrinius.
I'm Manoj Shettyarachi. A look at the headlines.
Illegal money outflows amounting to approximately 3 trillion rupees by corrupt politicians within the past decade revealed. The President receives blessings from the chief prelates of Askiri and Malvatta chapters. The Prime Minister says no late charges for the Port City project. Never before seen animal discard from Angoda. A fire at a place of religious worship kills over 100 in Kerala, India.
And now for the stories in detail. It has been revealed that a sum of 3 trillion rupees has been moved out of the country by corrupt politicians, businessmen and various other individuals between the year 2004 and the year 2013. The revelation is made on the website of the Global Financial Integrity America. The data reveals the equivalent of 2.88 trillion rupees has been illegally taken out of the country in the 10 years from 2004 to 2013. The Washington-based Global Financial Integrity and Advisory firm, which tracks and analyses illicit money, says illegal capital movements are also tied to dodgy trade invoicing or trade-related money laundering. According to the report, Sri Lanka has lost more than $17 billion through the dodgy trade invoicing to customs. The sum eclipses the amount smuggled out of the country in Colombian drug racketeering. The illicit outflows were the highest in the year 2011, which amounts to $4.6 billion. The sum moved out of the country in the year 2004 amounts to $1.38 billion. The Global Financial Integrity placed in Sri Lanka 53rd in the list of countries renowned for black money, for which consists of 149 countries.
President Maithripala Sirisena visited the chief prelates of the Malvatta and Askiri chapters today and received blessings. Prior to visiting the chief prelates, the President engaged in religious observances at the Sri Dalada Maligava. Subsequently, the head of state visited the chief prelate of the Malvatta chapter, the Most Venerable Tibbutuwave Sri Sumangala Thera, and received blessings. President visited the newly appointed chief prelate of the Askiri chapter, the Most Venerable Varakagoda Jnanaratana Thera, and inquired into his well-being, during which the Most Venerable chief prelate invoked blessings on President Maithripala Sirisena for the new year.
President
Maithripala Sirisena expressed his delight at the appointment of the Thera and said he expects resurgence within the Sasana. He noted it is the duty and the responsibility of the head of state to visit the chief prelates of the Askiri and Malvatta chapter and get blessings invoked during the dawn of the new year. The President said he received blessings from the chief prelates pertaining to the future activities of the country. He noted as a Buddhist country, he expects to strengthen the national development program with the resurgence of Buddhism, economic development and coexistence, reconciliation and unity among religions.
රටේ ඉදිරි කටයුතු සඳහා ඒ අනුව ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන්ම මේ බෞද්ධ රටක් විදියට බෞද්ධාගමික ප්‍රබෝධයක් සමග රටේ ආර්ථික සංවර්ධනය කරමින් රටේ සියලු ජන කොටස්වල සහජීවනයේ සහ මිත්‍රත්වය ඇතිව ඒ වගේම අනිකුත් සියලු ආගම් අතරේ සංහිඳියාව ශක්තිමත් කරමින් අපි පුළුල් ජාතික සංවර්ධන සටහන ශක්තිමත් කිරීමටයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. ඒ පිළිබඳව මම ඉතාමත්ම සතුටු වෙනවා.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has also released a congratulatory message in lieu of the appointment of the Most Venerable Varakagoda Jnanaratana Thera as the chief prelate of the Askiri chapter. In his message, the Premier says the government is committed to building an ethical nation under the good governance and is respectfully expectant of receiving the advice of the new Mahanayaka Thera. The Prime Minister says the responsibility of lighting the way not only for the clergy but also for the governing mechanism in accordance with Buddhism falls in the hands of the chief prelate.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the new economic policy will be unveiled in June. He made evident that such will be complemented by inking trade agreements with several countries. The Premier made the revelation during a media conference on his tour of China in Colombo. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the country requires a new economic policy and we should approach the world market. In aid of this new economic agreement with India, a free trade agreement with China and Singapore economic cooperation with Japan will be arrived. In addition, he said that a market with 3,000 billion will be available due to regaining the GSP+. The Premier revealed the President is being invited to Japan via the world leaders for the G7 summit, and as a result, the relations with Japan will be strengthened. He made evident that the government operates in close collaboration with the global community. The Prime Minister said, if we are to become the economic centre of the Indian Ocean, megapolis will have to be the main city. He noted previously the plan was to fill up the sea and erect buildings. However, the plan did not have economic background. He said that not only the present government is taking the project forward, but it plans to make the port city financial and trade centre of the Indian Ocean. The Premier called on such to be the difference and said a new Colombo will be delivered. He emphasised that debts have become a burden and paying off the debts will take the lifetimes of the next two generations. The Premier said in various sectors certain organisations express interest in owing the debts. He revealed that discussions are being conducted with China and certain organisations pertaining to such. The PM noted a free trade agreement needs to be signed with China subsequently. He revealed that all these activities will come to a conclusion within the year, and he's invited his Chinese counterpart to the country next year to conclude whatever is left. The Prime Minister said that the new economic development programme will be unveiled in June, subsequent to the President's return from the G7 summit. He said everyone will join hands and take the country forward within the next 3 years. In response to the reports in media claiming a sum needs to be paid pertaining to the Port City project, the PM said there is no late charge. The PM said certain sections of the initial agreement pertaining to the Port City was altered, and as the new policy, it was decided to lease a part of the port city to an organisation for 99 years. The PM said that the government aims to utilise the donations received from China for the 1 million jobs project, increment of income, rural economic development, and to establish a middle class. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe concluded inviting all leaders and parties to join hands in this endeavour.
The National New Paddy Harvest Festival was celebrated this morning within the Jai Shri Mahabodhi premises with the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. Prior to participating in the festival, the President engaged in religious observances at the Jai Shri Mahabodhi. This marked the 48th occasion of the New Paddy Harvest Festival, and it was organised under the instructions of the Atamasthana-adhipati Venerable Pallegama Srinivas Thera. Many farmers participated in this tradition transcending from the times of the monarchy. By celebrating this tradition, the farmers expect timely rains. A speciality during this year's festival was the presence of 2 separate bowls of rice with one designated for toxin-free rice. A sermon was also delivered by the Adhikarana Sanganayaka of the North Central Province, Venerable Ralapanave Dhammajoti Thera. Adhikarana Sanganayaka of the North Central Province, Venerable Ralapanave Dhammajoti Thera said, the rice production process is tainted with chemicals and therefore the resulting deaths are not a mystery. The Thera affirmed only President Maithripala Sirisena is able to develop agricultural sector devoid of chemicals.
ජනාධිපතිතුමා එතුමා වෙහෙසට පත් වෙනවා මේ රසායනික ද්‍රව්‍ය වලින් තොරව කෘෂිකර්මාන්තය ගොඩනැගීම සඳහා ඔබතුමාට පමණයි මේ කාර්යය කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ.
වසරකට පමණක් 5000ක් මේ රටේ එකතු වෙන වකුගඩු රෝගීන්.
President Maithripala Sirisena made evident that approximately 5,000 people become kidney patients in a year, and therefore the country will see a large accumulation of kidney patients in 10 to 15 years. He said everyone must unite in fulfilling the needs of the country and its people, putting aside accusations and criticisms. The President emphasized the importance of farmers comprehending the need of food production devoid of toxins.
සෑම ගොවි මහතෙක්ම මේ අසා සිටින සෑම ගොවි මහතෙක්ම මම හිතන්නේ ජයශ්‍රී මාබෝ සමිඳුන් අභියස අපි අධිෂ්ඨානශීලීව ප්‍රාර්ථනා කළ යුතුයි වසවිසෙන් තොර ආහාර අප සියලු දෙනාම නිෂ්පාදනය කළ යුතුයි කියන එක.
The tradition of offering honey to the Sri Mahabodhi by the chief of the indigenous folk was also observed by Uruvarge Vaniletto. On the occasion, the President distributed endemic seed paddy among farmers. Mahasangha and ministers also graced the occasion.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa participated in a function at the Alutwewa Purana Vihara in Angulukola Palace today. The function was held to distribute spectacles and during which he expressed views on Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe's recent visit to China. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa said that the tour was a good move and urged the government to refrain from fracturing relations with China. He revealed China was extremely cooperative in developing the economy and providing infrastructure. Emphasizing the importance of maintaining cordial relations with the global community, he said the country should consider India as an ally and China no different. He made evident no discord pertaining to America, England, Europe and India.
Sanders beats Clinton in Wyoming caucus, another heated battle in the Democratic Party in the USA. This is our segment on the US election battle for the White House.
Bernie Sanders has won the latest stage in the battle for the Democratic nomination by securing victory in Wyoming. Proportionally, 14 delegates were awarded to him.
Let me just say that I think it is beyond debate that the momentum in this campaign is with us, that we are seeing in state after state large voter turnouts, that we are seeing especially high turnouts among younger people. There was a mythology, I think, that was widely believed before we got involved in this race that young people were apathetic, were not concerned about politics, were not going to come out to vote. It looks like that has significantly changed. We have a path to victory, and our intention is to win the Democratic nomination and then win the general election.
Sanders has won 7 of the latest 8 states, and his delegate count has been raised up to 1,068 now. But Hillary Clinton still maintains a clear lead in the overall race with 1,756 delegates. Both are concentrating their efforts on the key New York primary later this month.
We are on the path to the nomination, but I need to win big here in New York because the sooner I can become the nominee, I can turn and unify the Democratic Party like I did with President Obama back in 2008. And the sooner we can go after the Republicans full time.
And now we take a look at a summary of stories from Asia in a Minute. The Philippines military says 18 soldiers have been killed in fierce fighting with Islamist militants in the south of the country. More than 50 other soldiers were wounded yesterday during the clashes with members of the Abu Sayyaf group of Basilan Island. People in western and southern India continue to reel under hot weather as temperatures soared to 40 degrees Celsius in most places. 66 people in Telangana have lost their lives in the 2016 due to sunstroke. The famous monument of love, the Taj Mahal in India, is being redecorated as the city gears up to host the British royals Prince William and his wife Kate in a wake. They arrived in Mumbai city today. A number of foreign animal keepers have come to China to learn how to feed giant pandas, an animal unique to China as more pandas have been loaned to other countries for cooperative research on their reproduction.
With just 3 days to go for the new year, even with the prevalent hot weather conditions, people throng the streets. The Ministry of Transport says 3,000 buses and 24 special railway services have been deployed in lieu of the festive season, and the decision was taken to fulfill the needs of commuters. Special railway services will be available from today until the 20th. Accordingly, 24 railway services will be in operation touching Bandaravilla, Galle, Jaffna, Mahava, Matara and many other destinations. In addition, the ministry said intercity railway services will be in operation on the 11th, 12th, 20th and on the 21st between Colombo to Kandy. The number of turns for buses along the Southern Expressway has also been increased, whilst measures have been taken to prevent congestion. All long-distance bus services will commence from Bastian Mawatha terminal. In case of a complaint pertaining to the private transport services, the National Transport Commission requests the public to lodge complaints by dialing 1955.
The General Secretary of the United People's Freedom Alliance, Minister Mahinda Amaravira, says any manner of fallout will only benefit external parties. The Minister made this statement during audience with local government representatives of the Matale district. A tense situation also arose during the occasion. The General Secretary of the United People's Freedom Alliance, Minister Mahinda Amaravira, said his intention was to have a friendly discussion and not to conduct a speech. He said the title of the General Secretary is not something he asked for, and what everyone expects in the end is victory. The Minister made evident the objective should be to form a government and not to give the upper hand to external parties by falling out with each other.
Minister Lakshman Kirayala received blessings from the newly appointed Chief Prelate of the Askiri chapter, the Most Venerable Varkagoda Jnanaratna Thera, today. Visiting the Askiri Mahavihare, the Minister engaged in a friendly discussion with the Chief Prelate. Updating the Chief Prelate on the development of the city of Kandy, he made evident that urban development was not given any attention during the previous regime, and noted that such a development process will be launched in the near future. Minister Lakshman Kirayala said it is the United National Front which the people vested with power and not the SLFP. He elucidated the people that vested President Maithripala Sirisena with the power as a candidate from the United National Front. The minister made evident that the United National Front won 107 seats during the parliament election, and everyone should remind themselves of such. He noted the conduct of certain factions would beguilingly suggest the power is either with the SLFP or the UPFA.
A never-before-seen animal has been discovered from the Angoda Sri Piyadasana Rama temple premises in Kotikawata last night. Resident Thera Venerable Pulgaha Kumbure Vipulathissa said the wildlife officials have been notified of the discovery. A discerning feature of the newly discovered animal is in the presence of a long tail. Its head is similar to a dog. The unidentified animal had attacked dogs within the temple premises. The animal features sharp teeth and bears semblance to a kangaroo. It features large ears and has legs similar to that of a dog with sharp nails. The locals had provided the animal with milk and subsequently had regained its strength.
The largest coastal part in Southern Asia, the Crow Island coast, was opened to the public yesterday, subsequent to a 16-month renovation project. The expenditure of the renovation project of the Crow Island coast, situated in Mattakulia, Colombo North, is 275 million rupees. The funds came by way of a loan from the World Bank. Subsequent to the renovations, the formerly derelict coastline could be seen as an eye-catching location. The project was implemented with the coordination of the Colombo Municipal Council and the Urban Development Authority under the supervision of the Ministry of Finance. Joining the occasion was Minister Ravi Karunanayaka, Patali Champiga Ranavaka, Anu Ganeshan and the Mayor of Colombo, A.J. Muzamel.
An ambulance had suffered a wild elephant attack this morning in Anapalagama or rather Ana Pallama, along with the Velavaya Road Monragala. 2 ambulance assistants had sustained injuries during the incident. Incident had occurred while transporting a patient from Velavaya Base Hospital to the Monragala Hospital. The patient and the 2 assistants with the injuries were admitted to the Monragala Hospital. Meanwhile, another motorist had stalled in fear of the elephant. Subsequently, a bus which arrived from behind had collided with the vehicle.
The Hindu newspaper reports Indian Prime Minister is backing a proposal to build a bridge across Spock Strait connecting the eastern tip of Rameswaram Island and Thalaimana. The Hindu was quoting Indian Union Minister Pon Radhakrishnan. He said the project was at the preliminary stage, but the Indian government was firm in going ahead with the project and realized the dream of Mahakavi Bharati.
Inspector General of Police N.K. Ilangakon says priority is given to prevention of crimes. The IGP made the comment joining the unveiling ceremony of the new police station in Pinnavala, Balangoda. IGP N.K. Ilangakon is the 33rd Inspector General of Police and he is due to retire in the near future. His specialty of the occasion was the unveiling of the Pinnavala Balangoda police station by the IGP, who hails from the locality. The police station is the 433rd in the country. And taking a look at foreign news now. A magnitude of 6.6 earthquake has felt across a number of major cities across Southwest Asia. The earthquake has struck in Afghanistan, close to its border by Tajikistan. There are reports that the tremor was felt in Kabul, Islamabad, Lahore and Delhi, forcing residents to leave their homes. The latest quake is sparsely populated in Hindu Kush Mountains, struck at the depth of 210 kilometers, the USGs reported. It was the same depth as the 2015 quake. There were no immediate reports of damage or casualties. The USG says the earthquake took place in one of the most seismically hazardous regions of the earth. In Delhi, the metro train system was temporarily halted. In October 2015, a magnitude of 7.5 quake in the same border area killed close to 300 people.
Some international news in brief. An explosion and a blaze sparked by fireworks had killed at least 100 people at a Hindu temple in the Indian state of Kerala. The fireworks were to be used to celebrate a local New Year festival. A building at the temple collapsed, causing many of the deaths. More than 200 people were injured. Permits for the display had been refused after safety fears. Several were said to be in critical condition in local hospitals. David Cameron paid almost £76,000 in tax on an income of more than £200,000 in 2014-15. Figures released by the Prime Minister have shown he earned £46,899 in rent on the London family home. The first such papers released by UK Prime Minister reveals. Cameron announced new task force to investigate tax dodging allegations. Belgian prosecutors say a man arrested has admitted being the man in the hat seen with the bombers who attacked a Brussels airport. They say Mohamed Abrini told investigators he was at the scene of the 22nd March suicide bombings. He's one of 6 men arrested in Brussels. The attacks in Brussels left 32 people dead.
Who had already been convicted for working with
3 people were killed and 6 injured in an attack staged by suspected leftist Shining Path rebels on the eve of Peru's presidential election. The attack in Andean nation occurred as military officials transported material for the election. 2 of the dead were military personnel and 3rd was a driver. 3 sailors have been rescued from an uninhabited Pacific island by the US Navy after spelling out help with palm fronds. The men were located on Thursday on the remote Pacific island of Fanadik in Micronesia. US Navy officials said they had been stranded for 3 days. 4 women and a child have died after they are both capsized off the Greek island of Samos. They are thought to be the first deaths in the area since a new deal with Turkey came into force yesterday with the aim of deterring migrants. 5 other people were saved and a search is underway for 4 more. Models mingled with actors on the red carpet for the annual MTV Movie Awards in Los Angeles yesterday. Delighted fans screamed as Victoria's Secret model Gigi Hadid, British model Cara Delevingne and Kendall Jenner arrived at the event, which was also attended by Hollywood stars Charlize Theron, Jessica Chastain and Chris Pratt. Unlike previous years, the show was held at the Warner Brothers studio in Burbank today.
Here are a roundup of movies for this week. Here's Movie Cafe.
Jericho Stewart. He's in and out of prison more than half his life.
Criminal is an upcoming 2016 American action thriller drama film directed by Ariel Roman and written by Douglas Cook and David Weisberg. The film is about an ex-con who is implanted with a dead CIA agent's memories to finish an assignment. The film is scheduled to be released on April 15. The Jungle Book is a 2016 American fantasy adventure film directed by Jon Favreau, written by Justin Marks and produced by Walt Disney Pictures. The film stars and introduces Neil Sethi as Mowgli and features the voices of Bill Murray, Ben Kingsley, Idris Elba, Lupita Nyong'o, Scarlett Johansson and Giancarlo Esposito and Christopher Walken. The film will be released in North America in the Disney Digital 3D, Real 3D and IMAX 3 formats on April 15. Fan is an upcoming 2016 Indian thriller film directed by Manish Sharma featuring Shah Rukh Khan in the lead role. The film is produced by Aditya Chopra under the banner of Yash Raj Films. The film is scheduled for release on the 15th of April. Theri, which is known as Spark, is an upcoming Indian Tamil action film written and directed by Otley and produced by Kalepuli S. Thanu. The film features Vijay, Samantha and Amy Jackson in the lead roles, while Prabhu and Radhika Sarathkumar amongst the other form an ensemble cast. Julie Hathai is a 2016 singular film directed by Sanjay Nirmal, screenplay by Hemanta Prasad, produced by Charitabe Singha, starring by Saranga Disasekara, Charitabe Singha, Pubudu Chaturanga, Damitabe Ratna, Oshadi Heva Madhumage, Anarkali Akarsha. The music is composed by Nuwan Penwara, cinematography by Pul Prayajat, editing by Sean Alvis, and the film is inspired by Mark Hamlet's short drama Don't Dress for Dinner.
The project was in my mind for a long time. Actually, a kind of experiment that I was, we were trying to apply. This movie is based on a famous French stage play called Don't Dress for Dinner. This movie is based only on the art of acting. We were trying to grab the best out of the actor and let the audience to enjoy the real art.
And in sports news, Janasattu Seva Table Tennis Colours Awards was held in Colombo recently with the patronage of Minister Chandrani Bandara. Awards were presented to sportsmen and women who managed to excel in table tennis competitions. Within the past 2 years, also among the recipients were members of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation.
On to the weather report for today. The Met Department forecast said that on the apparent northward relative motion of the sun, it is going to be directly over the latitudes of Sri Lanka during the 5th and the 4th.